One. Hello, guys. Welcome to the J2 Crypto Code. If you're looking forward to learning more about cryptocurrency, you found the right spot. In this particular video, I will be going on the current state of Bitcoin's death cross and how that has a lot of impact on not only the whales, but retail from their overall cryptocurrency perspective. So let's get things started. So, what is a depth cross, right? A depth cross happens when a short-term moving average, typically the 50-day, crosses below a long-term moving average, typically the 200-day, indicating potential bearish momentum for the short term and bullish momentum in the long term. So I'm going to give you and show you a demonstration from a technical standpoint on why this particular bullet point is so true. So as you can see here, over the past couple of years, from 2023 and now, right, you can see that when these moving averages cross each other, right, especially the depth cross is the red line, you're going to see that it has a short-term negative impact on the market, which if you're an investor, that's actually a positive impact from an accumulation standpoint, just to throw that out there. But as you can see here in 2023, these moving averages met, and we had a short-term downtrend before going upward during that part of the cycle in 2023. You can also see it here in 2020, going into 2024. You can see that when the depth cross from a short-term time frame has a negative impact on the market, and then there was a lot of bullish momentum going over. So as you can see here, once again, once these two particular data points cross each other and these trend lines cross each other again, there's going to be some short-term weakness and bearish momentum into the market, and then we're going to explode. So now we're at the point where they're meeting again, right? The depth cross is on top of the moving average, which means that there's going to be obviously some short-term bearish momentum before we get that explosion upward towards later on in the year. So as you can see here, I like these particular data points from a technical standpoint because this gives you an area where a lot of accumulation is happening. So if you're an investor, do not look at these specific points in the market and like you have to be out of it. This is a specific time frame where you should be accumulating your coins, not only Bitcoins, but all coins. And you should continue having a positive mindset and outlook on the market as a whole. So I like giving a technical analysis on everything that I present on this channel. I don't like just saying, hey, you should buy this at this particular period. This was when this happened. No, everything is in the data. Everything is in the technical analysis. And as you can see, I like showing things in a long-term time frame over a year to 6-month periods. So for the recent and upcoming crosses, Bitcoin had a depth cross in September 2023 and in August 2024, as you can see here, right? So you can see that here on this chart. Another one is expected during this time period in the next couple of weeks, like I just mentioned. So after the depth cross, Bitcoin often enters a downtrend, which we are currently in right now. As you can see from in Q1, I'll go back. In the start of Q1, the market had major bullish momentum, but ever since then, we've been in a downward trend. Basically in a bearish standpoint, and I would say over the last month and a half in an accumulation standpoint, which you can see that happen right here in September 2023. You can see that happening in September of 2024, and you can see that happening. I didn't have this line drew up here, but you will also see that happening here right in this particular time period that I just mentioned. So it's really important right now to be accumulating your share value. Eventually, it recovers and starts trending upward as we move towards a new and upcoming all-time high. So like I said and mentioned before, every time there's a depth cross, you can see that here. There's short-term volatility, and then there's pretty much a major bullish move 3 to 4 months later, which if you're looking at it at this particular time, this is why I see us going to that 150 to $175,000 mark by the month of August or September of this current year. So I like showing this particular state because you can see here, this was a big time frame to where a lot of accumulation happened over the course of 7 months. So as you can see here, we are currently in this state, but this is an example from the previous market in 2024. And in this current cycle, but what happened earlier in this particular market to where there was a lot of accumulation happening. And not only you can see that, the depth cross in this particular trend and data point was moving sideways, right? To where there was some short-term bearish momentum, and we got the push moving forward, which was a $50,000 move by Bitcoin, which is actually tremendous in this particular market. So this is exactly what I'm expecting coming up in this particular time frame. So from a historical pattern perspective, in March 2024, there was 6 to 9 month downturn before Bitcoin showed the strength to move upward. A significant breakout from that particular point happened 230 days prior. So this is where that happened from 230 days time prior. Now, a lot of you may ask, are we going to be trending for 230 days like we did earlier in the cycle? I don't necessarily believe that's going to happen. I think most of the waste has happened. It has been cleared out. A lot of the share value has been eaten up by whales and investors that see the potential in this thing in the market from a cryptocurrency perspective in totality. They've been eating up the share value. So this particular point in the market, you will not see this again for this long of a time frame for this particular cycle. I think that's over with. I would say now you have about 30 to 60 days to continue accumulating. And then once May 1st comes around, when that major liquidity happens to where that part of the liquidity cycle turns on, we get a major push from the Fed and that liquidity starts to come into the flow of things. I think you're going to be too late if you haven't accumulated a lot of shares, not only in Bitcoin, but any particular altcoin at this time period, because things are going to are getting ready to blast off right now. So what about now? Like I mentioned, the market is going to show some short-term weakness. The primary period of weakness may happen and may have already happened between the months February and March. But I'm telling you now, I would say we have about another 30 to 60 day period until that next up and coming Fed meeting. Everything that's happening right now is strategic. We have a lot of very important data that's getting ready to come out, not only from an employment standpoint, but from a tariff standpoint. You know, I picture and see Trump resolving a lot of the issues that's going on that he's had with these other foreign countries. I think everyone's going to have to settle if they want to see this market continue to happen and move positively, so there's no recession, or at least early recession, in this particular point in the cycle and during this year. Uncertainty fading, like I mentioned, new administration and policy changes will be cleared. And then looking at the market outlook in totality, if we can remain stable and clear up certain things that has presented a lot of uncertainty to the markets, I think that we're going to be okay. So right now, I'm not like a lot of these other YouTubers out here. I'm seeing things moving towards a positive direction. And that's just how I see it. So if you're looking to accumulate and if you're looking to increase your buying power, I would say you have 30 to 60 days to do so. And like I mentioned before, if you haven't bought by May 1st, you pretty much you shouldn't buy. So, or at least to mid-May, I will give you that time frame. Somewhere between May 1st and May 16th, if you haven't accumulated a lot of shares in whatever coin you see out there, I think it's going to be pretty late, and you're going to miss a major opportunity when the market starts to trend another direction. So moving forward, that's all I have for today. Just pretty much wanted to give you guys some details in regards to how I see the death cross short term being bearish, but long term giving us a lot of benefits and a lot of potential profitability moving forward in this current cycle. So, like I always say at the end of my videos, please like, subscribe, and comment. I'm currently at 85 subscribers, and I'm looking forward to getting to that 100 subscriber mark towards the end of April. That's a goal of mine. If I can get to 150, that would be also great. That's like a secondary goal of mine. But getting to 100 subscribers is going to be major for me, especially starting a YouTube channel in a month. So, you know, like I mentioned, please like, subscribe, stay positive out there, continue to use the DCA strategy. If you need anything, please comment on the videos. I will be giving some feedback, and that's all I have for you guys. So thank you. My name's J2, and this is J2 Crypto Code. I'm out.